Hey guys, I'm Akash and welcome to Pabbly. So the topic for today's video is automatically add Instamojo customer to ConvertKit on field payment. Now suppose guys you are a business owner who is using Instamojo to collect online payments from your customer. Now you want whenever a customer is trying to make and that particular transaction gets failed for any kind of technical reason or any reason, you want to add that very same customer into your ConvertKit account as well as you want to add the details of that failed payment into a Google Sheet. Now the manual process of getting the details or the data of failed payment from Instamojo and adding that person manually into a ConvertKit as a new subscriber as well as adding the failed payment details into Google Sheet. This whole manual process can be very much repetitive and time consuming. So in this video, I came up with an awesome automation by which whenever a transaction gets failed in our Instamojo account, automatically the customer who was trying to make that transaction, make that payment will be added as a new subscriber in our ConvertKit account, as well as guys, we will add the details of that very same failed payment into a Google Sheet as a new row. Interesting, right? Now here you must be thinking how we are going to do this. So to make this happen, we will be using Pabbly Connect, which is an automation and integration software. Now what is the actual step-by-step guide to set up this automation and how you can create this automation by yourself? To know this, you have to come with me to my screen.
So as you can see, here we are on the Pabbly Connect dashboard. Now to reach this dashboard, you just have to go to your browser and search for Pabbly, pabbly.com/connect. And after reaching to the landing page of Pabbly Connect, by clicking on sign up free, you can create your free Pabbly Connect account in just 2 minutes. Or if you already have an account, just click on sign in. So after reaching this dashboard, click on create workflow and give this workflow a name. For example, I would like to name my workflow as Instamojo failed payment and click on create. You can basically give any name to your workflow of your choice. So after creating our workflow, in this workflow, we have two different windows. First one is trigger window, second one is action window. So triggers and actions are basically those two concepts, those two principles on which this whole automation works on, where the trigger says when this happens and the action says do this. So let's begin with the trigger window. So the idea here is first we have to get the details or the data of new payments or the new failed payments which we are receiving on our Instamojo account inside Pabbly Connect. Then after that, using that data, we will send that very same customer details to ConvertKit to add that person into a ConvertKit account, as well as we will add the details of that very same failed payment into a Google Sheet as well. So let's begin. So here in trigger window, in choose app, we have to search for Instamojo. Instamojo it is. And after that, in trigger event, select new sale. So there is basically the very same trigger for failed payment as well as successful payment. So using this webhook URL, after selecting this trigger event, we have received a webhook URL. Now using this webhook URL, we will connect the payment page or payment link on our Instamojo account with Pabbly Connect. Then every time a new transaction will be received, a new transaction will take place in that payment page or payment link. Either it is a successful transaction or a failed transaction. We will receive the details or the data for that very same both the transactions in Pabbly Connect. So just copy this webhook URL from here. Go to Instamojo account. You can basically add this very same webhook URL into your existing payment link or payment page in Instamojo account, or you can create a new one. So let me create a new one for now. Just click on this create new button, for example payment link, click on create link and select smart link over here. Give this payment a page. For example, I'll name it as a dummy name PHP course. And then let's enter the pricing. For example, the pricing is 10 rupees. And click on next customize link. Now after here in this particular page, just select smart action over here. And after that, select add webhook. And after selecting add webhook, we can see there is a field named as webhook. And here we have to paste the very same webhook URL which we have copied from Pabbly Connect. So just copy this webhook URL from here, from Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And click on done. Now just now we have connected our new payment link which we have created with Pabbly Connect using a webhook URL. Now every time a new transaction will take place in this payment link, the details or the data of that very same transaction will be sent to Pabbly Connect as well. And we are going to do the same. Just copy this webhook URL, this payment link URL from here, go to a new tab and paste it over here. And now we can see that the payment page opens up. Now here we will be entering the details or the data of a new user, a dummy user, and make a test payment. And this time we are going to make a failed payment. How we are going to do so? We will enter the details of a dummy customer, and while making the payment, I have emptied my bank account or the UPI account from which I am going to make the payment. So when I will try to make the payment is going to get failed, and we will receive the response for the failed payment in Pabbly Connect. So let's execute this. I will give a dummy name, email address, as well as a dummy phone number. After entering the details of a dummy customer, click on next, and here we are going to make a failed payment. So just ensure that by any condition, by any situation, if this payment fails, either it is a technical issue, a server issue, or by any condition, if this payment fails, we will receive the details or the response for failed payment in Pabbly Connect. And if the payment which was made by the customer is going to succeed, we will receive the response for the successful payment in the Pabbly Connect as well. So the status of the payment will be changing, that's it. So let me make a failed payment over here. And we can see that now here the payment is failed. I tried making a payment and it got failed for any reason. There can be an incorrect CVV reason or expiry date or some network problem for the payment method end or payment server end or any issues. So by any chances this payment got failed. Now because we have connected this very same payment link or payment page with Pabbly Connect using a webhook URL, we will receive the details or the data of this very same failed payment too in Pabbly Connect. So let's get back to our workflow. So this is our workflow. And yes guys, here in trigger window, we can see that we have received a response from Instamojo. And in this response, we have the link ID of payment link, we have the payment ID for that particular transaction, and we have the status. And in status, we can notice that the status is failed. So we have also received using the very same process which we use for successful payment, we have used that very same process and received the status of the payment as failed because the payment which we tried to make was failed as well. So guys, we have the currency of the payment as well as the amount. So in this response, we have received the details or the data of new transaction which we were receiving in our Instamojo account. And that transaction got failed, so we have received the status as failed. Now guys, we will notice that in this response, we haven't received the details of the customer who actually tried to make the payment. So the idea here is I want to add that very same customer into my ConvertKit account as well as add the details of that very same customer into Google Sheets. So I only want to add the details of the customer into the Google Sheet and ConvertKit whose payment got failed. Otherwise, if the payment is succeeded, I don't want to add those customers into my ConvertKit account or into my Google Sheet as well. So to ensure that add this kind of condition in this workflow, in this automation, just scroll down and come to our action window. And here we will add a filter. Just select filter from here. And after selecting filter, in select label section, you will find all the responses which we have received from Instamojo can be seen over here. And out of all these responses, select the response of status and it should be equal to field. So just copy the field from here, from this response and paste it over here as it is. Just paste it. So we have added a filter, a condition that the status of the payment is failed, then only this workflow should be continued or executed further. If not, then this workflow should not be continued. Or there is another condition guys, if you want to add the details of the customer into your ConvertKit account, but want to only add the details of failed payment into the Google Sheet, you can add this filter step after the ConvertKit step as well. You can use it according to your choice. So we have successfully added this filter. Let's click on save and send test request. And yes, after clicking on save and send test request, we have received a response over here. And this response says the condition is true, that the condition which we have added is now true. So after adding this condition, the next step is we want to get the details of the customer who actually made the payment. So we will be using this payment ID to receive these details. So just scroll down and click on this add action step button over here. And here in choose app, we will search for Instamojo once again. Instamojo it is. And after that, in action event, this time we will get payment details. So here in trigger window, there is an important note which says, note that if you need full details corresponding to any transaction ID, then you need to use the Instamojo get payment details event in the next action step. So we want to get the details of the customer, so we will be using get payment details action event in this action window. Click on connect and select add new connection. Now here once again we have to connect our Instamojo account with Pabbly Connect. But this time to make the connection, we require the private API key as well as the private authentication token of our Instamojo account. So here you must be thinking how we are going to get this. So to get the private API key and private authentication token of our Instamojo account, just go to the dashboard of your Instamojo account, and on this dashboard on the left side, there is an option named as API and plugins. By clicking on API and plugins, you will find the private API key and private authentication token of your Instamojo account. Just copy those details from there and paste it over here and click on save. I have already made the connection, so I'll click on select existing connection and click on save. So once again, after connecting our Instamojo account with Pabbly Connect, it is asking us for the payment ID. That what is the payment ID of that particular transaction whose details we are willing to retrieve. So we have received the payment ID in our trigger response from Instamojo. So this is the payment ID. And we are going to map this very same payment ID over here in this payment ID field. And the process of mapping, guys, is very simple. Simply click on this field, and from the drop down below, we can see all the responses which we have received from Instamojo over here. And out of all these responses, select the response of payment ID and just click on save and send test request after mapping it. And after clicking on save and send test request, we have received a response over here. And in this response, we will find all the details regarding that particular payment. So once again, we have the payment ID, then we have the payment status, currency, payment amount, the name of the customer who was trying to make the payment, which they have entered in the payment link or payment page, the very same phone number and same email address as well. And we have some other details too. So guys, we can see that the failure message is transaction failed. So we have successfully received the details of the customer whose payment got failed. So we have the response for the trigger response for Instamojo payment, and after that we have added a filter to know that only the payment who got failed should be proceeded further in this automation. Then in the next step, using the action event of Instamojo, we have get payment details. We have retrieved the details of the customer whose payment got failed. Now we want to add this very same customer into a ConvertKit account. For that, just click on this Add Action Step button below Instamojo Actions tab, and here in Choose App, search for ConvertKit. ConvertKit it is. After selecting ConvertKit, in Action Event, we have lots and lots of action event over here. So we want to add a subscriber to a form. I want to add a subscriber to a form. So I will select this action event. You can basically select any action event according to your choice. After that, just click on Connect and select Add New Connection. Now we have to connect our ConvertKit account with Pabbly Connect. And to make this connection, once again, we need the API key and API secret of our own ConvertKit account. So let's get this. So to get the API key, just go to the dashboard of your ConvertKit account, and on the right top corner, you will see a profiles option. Just click on it and click on settings. After clicking on settings, go on the left side, we can see multiple options over here. At last, there is an option named as advanced. Click on advanced. And after clicking on advanced, you can see in this API section the API key and API secret of your ConvertKit account. Just copy this API key from here, go back to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. Then get back to ConvertKit, copy this API secret and go back to Pabbly Connect and paste it over here. And after pasting the API key and API secret, just click on save. And now we can see that our ConvertKit account is now also successfully connected to Pabbly Connect. Then after making the connection, it is asking us select from form. So in my ConvertKit account, I have created 3 forms, as you can see in this drop down. So it is asking us out of all these 3 forms, in which form we want to add this subscriber. So I have a form named as get guide. I want to add the subscriber in this particular form. So I will select it. You can basically select any form according to your choice which you have created. Then it is asking us first name, email, tag, last name and other details of the subscriber which we are willing to add. So we have received all of these details of the subscriber from our Instamojo get payment details action event. So in this response, we have the name of the customer who was trying to make the payment. We have the phone number and the email address. So we have to basically map this very same details over here. So here it is asking us first name and last name in separate fields. You can basically use text formatter to split this very same text. So for that, to split the first name and last name from this response of the name, just click on this add action step button before ConvertKit step. And here in choose app, use for text formatter. So we will use a feature of Pabbly, which is Pabbly Connect, which is text formatter, to split the first name and last name from this complete name response. So after selecting text formatter by Pabbly, in action event, select split text and click on connect. After that, it is asking us text to split. So we have to basically map this response of name over here, the text to which we want to split. So just click on this field, and from the drop down below from Instamojo get payment details tab, just map the name of the customer. This is the name of the response for the name of the customer. Just map it. Then it is asking us for the separator. So we want to split the text before and after this space. So space will be our separator. So this is the way how you enter space as a separator. So we have entered separator as space. And in segment in text, just select all and click on save and send test request. And in the response, we can see that the first name and last name is now separated from the full name response. And we will map this very same individual responses over here in this ConvertKit step. Just to reconnect your ConvertKit account once again, just click on connect. Just select add new connection and click on save. Then we have selected this very same form. And to map the first name, just click on this field. And from the drop down below, we can see all the responses. And out of the response of text format as split text, select the response of first name and map it. Then it is asking us for the email. Just click on this field. From Instamojo get payment detail response, select the response, map the response of email address. And it is asking us for the tag as well. So I'll add a tag as test. But if you want, you can add a tag named as failed payment or something like that into you can create a tag like that into your ConvertKit account and add that tag to this particular subscriber. Then in place of last name, just click here and from the text formatter response, map the response of last name and map the mobile number from Instamojo get payment details step. So after mapping all these details, just click on save and send test request. And after clicking on save and send test request, we have received a response over here. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that this very same customer whose details we have mapped over here, basically the customer who was trying to make a payment on our Instamojo account and whose payment got failed, the very same customer is now added as a new subscriber into a ConvertKit account. So let's check it. We'll get back to ConvertKit and here we'll go to grow and landing page and form section. Just scroll down and this was the form get guide. Just click on it. Just a second. Let's get back. Okay, sorry. We just have to go to the subscribers section. Just go to subscribers. Just scroll down. And yes, guys, we will see that dummy name, the very same customer details which we have added in our Instamojo payment page while making the failed payment, the very same customer is now added as a subscriber into our ConvertKit account. The same email address, same first name, last name, and same phone number. And it is as the very same tag test which we have added, which we have selected in Pabbly Connect workflow. This means, guys, the step 2 of setting up this automation is also completed. We have successfully added that very same customer whose payment got failed on our Instamojo account into a ConvertKit account. Now after that, we want to send this very same details of a customer into a Google Sheet as well. For that, we'll get back to Pabbly Connect workflow. Just scroll down and for one last time, just click on this add action step button. And here in choose app, just select Google Sheets. After that, in action event, select add new row and click on connect. Select add new connection. Now here we have to connect our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect. And this connection is very simple. Click on connect with Google Sheets. And in the new tab, we can see we just have to select our Google Sheets account. This is my Google Sheets account. Select it, scroll down and click on continue. And that's it, guys. We have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with Pabbly Connect. Now after that, it is asking us select spreadsheet. Then in which spreadsheet we want to store the details of this customer or the failed payment in. So the spreadsheet is named as Instamojo failed payment. I have created this spreadsheet and I want to store this data in this particular spreadsheet. So from the drop down of select spreadsheet, just select this very same spreadsheet over here. And you can search for any other spreadsheet of your choice over here. Just select the spreadsheet. After that, it is asking us select sheet. So in this particular spreadsheet, I have only one sheet named as sheet 1. So I will select sheet 1 in this select sheet. Then we can see all the columns which we have created in this spreadsheet can be seen over here. So we have different fields for every column. So one by one, we have to map the very same data which we have mapped in previous steps or received from previous steps over here. So the first column, I am asking for the payment ID. So we have to basically map the payment ID for that particular failed transaction. Just click here, and from Instamojo get payment detail responses, select the response of payment ID and map it. Now map the customer name. So we will map the name of the customer, response for the name of the customer. Same process of mapping for email as well. Then same process for mobile number. Let me map the mobile number. This is the mobile number. And for email as well. Okay, so transaction date and time as well. So we have received this is the payment created date and time. Just select it and map it over here. So guys, in this way, you can basically create any kind of fields or columns in your Google Sheet, and you will find a new field for that every column over here in Pabbly Connect. And you can map required data according to your choice on that very particular field. And after mapping all these details, all this data, just click on Save and Send Test Request. After clicking on Save and Send Test Request, we can see that we have received a response over here. And this response seems to be a positive response to us. This response shows that the payment details of the failed payment which we have performed just now on our Instamojo payment page is also now successfully added into our Google Sheets. So let's check our Google Sheets. And yes guys, we can see that here we have the details of that very same payment which we have tried to make just now few minutes ago. So we have the payment ID of that payment, the name of the customer which we have entered while making the payment, the email address of the customer, mobile number, and date and time of that particular transaction. If you want, you can basically add the amount of payment, payment status, and other details like currency and other details as well into this Google Sheet. For this video, I have kept it simple and added very few fields over here. So guys, the automation which we are willing to create in this video, we can see that we have successfully created that very same automation. Now, every time a new payment gets failed in our Instamojo payment page, we will receive the response of that very same transaction over here, and the status of that response will be failed. And if the status of that response is failed, then this automation will be continued. Then we'll get the payment details of that very same customer from Instamojo. Using text formatter, we will separate the first name and last name of that very same customer name. Then using ConvertKit, we will add that ConvertKit action step. We will add that very same customer as a subscriber into a ConvertKit account. And we'll also add the details or the data of that very same failed payment into Google Sheets. And we have added a filter over here so that we can follow all these steps for failed payment only. Because in our trigger application, in our trigger response, we get response for every Instamojo transaction. And if transaction status is failed, only then we want to perform all this action. That's why we have added the filter, added this condition. So not just these applications guys, you can basically connect plenty of other applications using Pabbly Connect. And guys, one more important thing. You will find the clone link of this very same workflow in the description box below. By clicking on that link, you can clone this very same workflow into your own Pabbly Connect account and use this workflow for free.
If you need any kind of help or have any queries, you can ask them on forum.pabbly.com, and you can check Pabbly Connect's pricing at this link. So if this video was helpful to you, you can like this video. Don't forget to share it with others, and to keep getting such content on automation and integration, you can subscribe to Pabbly. Thank you. Have a nice day.